This is Rap the News. And according to the Bible, Edom is hated of God and is doomed to hellfire. And then some people would say, why all the doom and gloom? And I'm saying, exactly. Why all the doom and gloom? We have to get the doom and gloom. Because we landed in doom and gloom when we disobeyed our Lord in the garden. And so, why talk about Edom? Why talk about slavery? Why talk about Gentiles? Why talk about anything? Because if you don't talk about it, people is going to go to hell. If you don't talk about it, people are going to go to hell. And so, just give it some thought. All of Israel is going to be saved. So says the book, right? That only leaves Gentiles that needs to be saved. And Jesus ain't going to do it. And that's fictitious and false. So, watch. That verse right there is telling you Jesus ain't going to do it. Because you can't change the decree of people who are destined to go to hell. Right? Psalms 49:14. Like sheep, they are destined to go to hell. When God made a decree and said, you are going to hell, and that's before you was even born, you ain't going to change that. So, why are we preaching a message? For stragglers. Okay, God said, if you have the Spirit breathed on you, then basically, you're going to stop doing wrong. As soon as I lead you to the straight path and say, hey, look, this is the straight gate to enter right here. If you have the Spirit of God on you, you are going to enter into that gate. I know that the people who defy me are the people who are destined for hell. Let's get into it. Because I even asked the question, why is there a hell and why are people made to go to hell? And that's what they are. Destined for this fire. It's a horrible place. The degrees is 70 times harder than it is on earth. No water, no sleep, no rest. Nothing but excruciating pain 24/7 that get intensified over and over. You die repeatedly every single day. You just die over and over again. It is a horrible place. Like I said in my last video, don't drink for 24 hours. And then tell me about hell you're going to have to endure that smoke and that heat. You ain't going to be able to endure that, man. And so that's why I'm a warner. And so we got to understand why God created hell. And let's get into that, man. And why did he create these people that are destined to go to hell? Which is the Gentile. So we said all of what? Israel is going to be saved. The people with the Spirit on them. Because once they are led to the gate, the straight gate, they are going to enter in that gate and they're going to stop sinning according to the Bible. No one with the Spirit of God on them makes a habit or a lifestyle out of sinning, says the Bible. Then who makes a lifestyle out of sinning? The Gentile does. Black, white, yellow, green, and brown. So when I say Gentile, white people automatically say, okay, that's me. And now he's talking about me. No, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help everybody that I possibly can help. Trying to help you and helping you is two different things. I can only help you if you can say, I believe what the scriptures are saying. I believe what you read in the scriptures to be true. And so this is not coming from me. It's coming from what? The scriptures. Which is coming from who? God. Revelation 21:8. And so I'm saying stuff to make your brain work and so you can think. So I don't be the only one, or it's only going to be a handful of people that think, that actually think and contemplate. But the fearful, the people will say, you're fear-mongering. The unbelieving, I don't believe in a God. I don't believe in what you're saying, Rap the News. And I'm reading it directly out the book. They all going to hell. The abominable, the child molesters, the rapers, the homosexuals, they all going to hell. The murderers, whoremongers, sorcerers, idolaters, idolatry, worshiping creation, and all liars. People, I mean, GMS, when they was battling me, going back and forth, and all of these other people, the first thing they come with is a look at everybody who went up against me in a debate. Every last one of them just lied through their teeth. They're all liars. That's why they debating with the truth. Shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstones, which is the second death. Right? Where they're going to die repeatedly. Okay, now watch. They destined to the fire. Who? The fearful, the unbeliever, the abominable, the murderer, the whoremonger, the sorcerer, the idolater, and all liars. Jesus cannot intercede in this. Neither can he intercede if you are destined to go to hell. Watch. Did Jesus make that up? See, the people who believe in a fake Jesus. Did he make it up and say, oh, thou my people, you are destined to go to hell? Or is that coming directly from God? We know it's coming directly from God. Who says what? These are people who are destined, predestined to go to hell. They ain't getting out of it. And who are the people? These are the people right here. The warmongers, the haters, the fighters. You know, it's more. Because there's more scriptures to say and describe the people of hell. Right? These are the people of hell. Now, let's take a closer look at this. And let's look at it from, you know, our perspective and God's perspective. Okay, so you look at this and say, wow, God created people to go to hell. Wow, that's just, I don't know what to say about that. That seems wrong. You know, and all of these people is going to hell. Now watch this. Now let's place you and everything that you love in a house. You know. And no one else in the world exists except for you and maybe all of the people that you love. You're all in a house, one house. And outside the house is death, you know, destruction. You know, if you go too far from this house, you know, it's things around that will kill you, you know, but you're safe in this house, right? And then you'll get the children of Israel story versus the nations, which is the wolves. Okay. Now, let's add a murderer to the house. And then you say, just let people be free and do as they wish to do. Now, everything that you love is what's going to happen to it? This murderer is going to do what? Destroy everything that you love. Now, can you see it from God's perspective? To some extent. Can you see it from my perspective? Because this is what I learned. I said, wait a minute. I can't have my kids around my brother. He's gay. I can't have my kids around my sister. She's gay. You know, and I don't want nothing to happen to my kids. I can't let my kids hang around my cousins. He's a molester. I can't let my kids hang around my uncle. He been in and out of prison. And then what's happening in my life? I got to get rid of these people, right? And so how do we get rid of these people? Whites should know this well, huh? You move, huh? Far away from them, huh? Ain't that what you're doing? Ain't that why you moved? Ain't that why you don't go to the hood? Yeah. So you understanding God. Because you don't want these type of people around because they're going to do what? Destroy everything that you love. And then I wrote a song once, and I said, remember what I said. In order to be free, your enemies must be dead. And so I said in the last video, in order for us to actually live in peace and safety, that comes from God. That don't come from the enemy. That's a derivative of God, peace and safety. It didn't come from the Hellcat. So watch this. All your enemies have to be dead in order for you to have peace. If you have a murderer in the house and you got everything you love in that house, you know, everybody who you love in that house, you're going to come up to the conclusion that you have to kill the murderer. If you got little kids in the house and you got to go out and work and do things like that, and you got to leave your little kids at home, and you got a molester in the house, your kids will never be safe until you destroy that molester. If you're the last people on the earth. And then you'll get it. You know, if you're living in a community and everybody is breaking into your house and everybody is a gang member and everybody is thugs, you know, and everybody is corrupting the minds of your children, you're trying to elevate them and the whole neighborhood is bringing them down. Teaching them how to do drugs, teaching them how to get pregnant before they, 9. You got to move. Right, white people? You got to move. So you understand rap. And so you understand God as well. And so what is God saying? In order for the world, heaven and earth to be right, we got to get rid of the scum. And the scum wasn't who you thought the scum was. The scum so happens to be most of you. Black, white, yellow, green, and brown. The people who doing drive-bys in the hood with brown skin are Gentiles. Because if they had the spirit on them, says God, they would do what? They would stop their evil ways and turn to God when somebody led them to the path. It's a church on every corner in the hood. And nobody can't get right, huh? That should tell you something about church, huh? It's a church on every corner in the hood. Go to a real hood. It's a church on every damn corner. Sometimes you go from one corner to the next corner. There's another church on the next corner. And nobody can't do nothing right around these damn churches, man. Right? Y'all know. And so, the Gentiles are the thieves. The Gentiles are the liars. The Gentiles are the crooked serpent. The Gentiles are the beasts of the field. The Gentiles are Satan's seed. Anybody who sins, anybody who lies, anybody who continues sin, God said they are of Satan. They are of the devil. So y'all getting me? Let's move on. Proverbs 16:7. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. So guess what? When my ways please the Lord, that means I sowed towards the peace. I'm not killing anybody. I'm not doing abominable things. I'm not gay. I'm not a murderer, a whoremonger, a sorcerer, an idolater. I'm not lying to anybody. I'm just living in peace the best way that I can. And guess what God said he's going to do? Then I'm going to make these people be at peace with you. So what is he saying? Once you fix your damn self, you fix the world. And I say it again. Once you fix your damn self, you fix the world. My kids, my wife, before we even moved to the wilderness. Oh, we're going to a barren land. It's the desert. There ain't nothing out there but heat. No, I said it's an oasis out there. No, you're lying. It's heat. No, it is an oasis out there. One that you have to make. And this is what God is saying right here. You have to make your enemies at peace with you by obeying God. Right? Because God won't allow nothing to happen to you. Okay. The people who got hung, raped in slavery, abused, all Gentile. Even if they black coming from Hebrew, they all Gentile. The people who raped them and killed them, all Gentile. Every black person that gets shot on TV, the majority of them, all Gentile. And then I stopped feeling for them. I was like, they ain't even us. Because God wouldn't allow that to happen to us. If you can understand what's going on. It's only to deceive you, to get you sucked into that mess. Let the trash take out the trash. Let the dead bury the dead. Then you get Jesus. Okay, let's move on. Luke 24:36. And as they thus spake, Jesus himself stood in the midst of them, his brethren, and said unto them, Peace be upon you. Be unto you. Peace be unto you. Because, watch this. When you take all the Gentiles off the earth, peace. I said it in my last video. The Gentiles said, we are parasites. That's what the Gentiles said. You know, and I heard multiple Gentiles say this. Once you exterminate them off of the earth will be at peace again. They are the ones who causing hell, and some of them realize that they are the ones who cause all the hell. And so God is realizing it, or has realized it, because he created them to do this. Right? We're like, why would God create them to do that? To train you how to please him through them. To train you to be obedient to him. To make you understand you don't want to have shit to do with evil. You don't want nothing to do with the fearful and the unbelieving, the abominable and the murderers and the whoremongers and the sorcerers and the idolaters and the weed smokers and the drug addicts. You don't want nothing to do with them. That's why I moved out of the city. I don't want nothing to do with them. I didn't want to move away from a color or a creed. I'm around Gentiles 24/7. You know. And I'm all right with them because they're all right with me. You know why they're all right with me? Because I'm peace. I'm trying to please the Lord to the best of my ability. And so Jesus is saying what? Peace unto you, be unto you. Here's what I'm going to give you, peace. And so that's what it's all about on this earth, peace. Real peace though. John 14:27. Again he's saying it. Peace I leave you with. My peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth. The world is a lie. It ain't never giving no peace. They always come with a smile and some shiny teeth, huh? You know, with their arms wide open, huh? Give I unto you, let not your hearts be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Peace and safety. Because what, again, people? With all of these bastards right here, there is no peace and safety. Your daughter or your son go out, they're going to get prison raped and raped and abused and molested, right? Your wife going to get groped and, you know, you might get groped around all. Look what they did to Lot. Right? You don't care if you're a man of God or not. Make them want to do it even more, huh? You ain't going to get lied to. You know, people ain't going to be putting spells on you and everything else because they all gone. That's why he said he's going to wipe them all off the earth, people. And you agree with God because you tired of their asses too. You know, you have something good in your garage or something like that. And I see in the paper out here, and we in Whiteville, someone broke in my garage and they stole my my scooter or my this or my AV or, you know. And people are stealing, and they post pictures of the, you know, valuables and stuff that some slick mofo then went in there and stole. So these are white people stealing from white people out here. You know, these white people out here, they will steal your fence, You have a fence up. They will come and while you gone and take down your fence and haul it somewhere else and roll up a fence. That they would these ones out here, and I'm not even lying. This is the truth. If you're gone from your house, like you have a vacation house out here, you will come back and your house will be ripped to shreds. They will take the roof off. They'll take the doors. They'll take the windows. They'll take everything that they can take to build themselves a house out of your house. And so out here, when you're driving around in the wilderness, you'll see a bunch of houses taken apart. I don't see no black people out here. Rarely do I see black people where we at. Rare. I mean, when I see black people, I was like, we both looking at each other like, what the fuck is you doing out here? You know what I mean? Black people have came out of, somebody came to deliver the, where they delivered some stuff from Home Depot, and it was a black guy that delivered. He was a truck driver, and when he dropped the stuff off from Home Depot, all the wood and stuff, he was just sitting there looking at us like shocked, like, what is y'all doing out here? That's what he asked us. You know, and we both looking at each other in amazement. We like, wow, somebody black, you know. Anyway, so now captivity is turned, right? And God took you away from, again, let's keep going to it. He took you away from the unbelieving, the abominable, the murderers, the whoremonger, and the sorcerers, and the liars. That's what he lifted you out of, black man. After many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword. And that's Israel. Not the fake Israel over there now. This is the last days. They're already over there pretending to be us. And it's gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel. Zion. Y'all better catch that Zion train. Which have always been a waste, but is brought back forth out of the nation. And they shall dwell safely, all of them. Right? Peace and safety. When you what? Brought forth out of the nations. Again, these are all black people living together. And what is God saying? How they living? Peace and safety. All of them. Every last person is safe. Why wasn't we safe before? Gentiles. That's why he's destroying them all off of the earth, according to the Bible. Psalms 29:11. The Lord will give strength unto his people. The Lord will bless his people with peace. Right? Yeah. Who is his people? Israel, Judah. Not the Gentiles. Because what? There is no peace with them. Because what? They were made for the fire. I'm going to do a part 2 to this. Psalms 37:11. But the meek shall inherit the earth, the humble, the meek. Not the arrogant with his head up and bragging about what he and she got. And shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. That's what it's all for. So you can appreciate peace. Okay, when we're living in the hood, we hearing all kind of nasty shit on the radio from next door. I mean, I'm trying to clean my kids' minds and stuff and make them grow up right. And the next door neighbor is playing songs like, my neck, my back, my pussy, and my crack. And they saying, lick my neck, my back, my pussy, and my crack. That's what I'm hearing. And you go knock on the neighbor's door. Go knock on a nigga's door and tell them to turn that shit off. And guess what you're going to have? Everybody in that house coming out to fuck you up. You ain't turning that damn satanic shit off. When they cursing, when they fighting, you got to deal with it. And then guess what? It ain't just that. Now we live, and in the hood, it's Mexicans and blacks. You know, and poor whites, right? And so the poor whites is what? They all homosexuals over there. And then the poor whites in the front, you know, in this complex, they whores. So the black dudes is going in and out and going in and out of all of their ass up until it was a big ass shootout. And I told them it was going to be a shootout. I said, you put 9 pieces of ass in the house white asses in the house, and then you got black people going in and out, somebody gonna die. And that's what happened. They was getting shot left and right because of that house right there. And so the Mexicans, they playing that Mexican music very loud. Black people know, and you can't stand that music, huh? You can't stand that music. It drives you crazy, huh? And they turn it up loud. You know why? Because they tell me. They said they turn it up loud and they try to be annoying as fuck to you so you move out. They try to they'll call the police on you. You won't even know they're the ones doing it. So you can move out. They can get you in trouble. You get kicked out. And that's how the hood is. And so when we moved out of that, people were getting shot in our little court. That's what it's called. COURT. Court. I think I spelled that right. Anyway, people were getting shot in there. I mean, they were running. It was shootouts. And my family had to duck. We had to duck. Oh shit, they doing it again. And it was a couple of families in there, man. We was like really fed up with that shit, man. But the Gentiles were having a muck. That's how they want to live their life. Strongest of the fittest. Gang banging to the fullest. That's how they want to live their life. Joining the Klan and the Nazis, hating to the fullest. They want to live their life by rape and murder and taking every damn thing. They the wicked. Right? But not all of us is like that, man. I know something about other world. It ain't. It's some white people who just don't want to hate and kill and murder, black people. It's very few of them, but it's some that's out there. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. And then God said to the white man, the Gentile, and he said, why do you keep saying the white man? Because when I say Gentile, that's the first thing that pops in my head is the white man. My brain is conditioned to say that, even though I know Gentiles come in all different colors. That's why somebody asked that, and then I have to stop myself from saying that because Gentiles come in all different colors. Ezekiel 13:10, because they hate to be singled out by themselves. So if you add a little color in it, they feel all right. Because they have seduced my people, he's talking about the Gentiles, saying peace, and there was no peace. And so God wants you to give some peace, and sometimes the only way to give peace is somebody got to be dead. Somebody got to be. What do you think war is for? We want to live a certain way. We don't. Pow. War. And then God saying to the Gentiles, 1 Thessalonians 5:3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them. When they actually say the shit. They say it to us, they just lying. Every continent they came and destroyed and colonized on, they said peace. That's how they come. We're these little harmless people. Next thing you know, everybody dead. Right? Okay, we're going to go into part 2.